Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with any CRM project there. Now, we run these short presentations every Friday and focusing on different aspects of Workbooks. And today we're going to look more closely at customer support. How do you track your customer support activities? If you've got a customer support department, engineers, technicians, a help desk or similar, what tool do they use for tracking what they're up to, and how do they share that information with the rest of the team? Now, this presentation will be approximately 30 minutes or so. It's just a short session. And every organization uses a CRM system in subtly different ways. Everyone's got different requirements, and I wouldn't have enough time this morning to go over all of the extensive capabilities of Workbooks. So after this session, if your company hasn't had a more detailed one-to-one session with us, I'd encourage you to get in touch with me so we can organize a more detailed presentation with you and your colleagues, and we can then discuss your requirements in more detail. We really want to try and understand what you want out of a system like Workbooks. Now, also on the call today, we've got about 30 odd people on the call today, and looking down the names, I can see some people that have already seen Workbooks, are trialing the system. There's a free trial of Workbooks, so you can put it through its paces. And some people have never seen it at all. So excuse me if I'm going over some information you already know. I just need to go at the speed of the slowest, so to speak. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. Your microphone is on mute. If you've got any questions, please type those into your question section. You might see a control panel. Look in your top right corner of your screen, and there'll be a little section in there called questions, or I think it might be called messages on mobile devices. But whatever it is, type in any questions as you think of them, and I'll try and do my best to answer those at the end of the session. Also, this session is being recorded. After the presentation, you will receive an email with a link to the recording, which you can share with your colleagues, and we'll probably put up on YouTube as well. Okay, so let's get started. Just a brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. We're based in Bristol. All we do is CRM. We don't do anything else. We're an independent reseller of CRM systems. Workbooks is the most popular system we provide. Very affordable, very easy to use, great for any small, medium-sized company or small, medium-sized implementation. And as you have gathered, it's an online system. It's a web-based application. So we have clients that do their own thing with Workbooks. They set it up themselves, teach themselves how to use it. There's lots of resources out there and YouTube videos on different aspects of Workbooks, but we're here on hand to assist you in any part of your project. If you want some help in customizing the system to your requirements, migrating data from an old system, say Excel, or an old database into Workbooks, we're here to assist on things like that and helping you integrate it maybe with other applications, providing training. We can train you at your place, you can come to our place, or we can do it online, similar to if you're listening to this live, similar to how we're doing it now, but a lot more interactive, and ongoing support as well. We've got a nice friendly support help desk here to answer any query that you've got. So when discussing Workbooks with you, what we want to try and get at is what issues you're looking to solve, what objectives you're looking to achieve. Are you replacing an old system? Are you a startup business and you just want to have a system to track your leads and help you develop business? Or what we're here to discuss today is do you have a support team? What do they use for tracking their support activities? So that's really what we want to try and get at, is what you want to be using CRM for. So when you've implemented Workbooks, and we're looking backwards after say 3 months, 6 months, and you're looking back, and we can see what we've achieved. We can measure the success. We can do a little bit of ROI on the investment. So what is Workbooks? Well, it's a an easy to use, affordable system, central system to manage all of your client information. There's some marketing tools in there as well to help you be more proactive on your targeting, your messages. Unusually for a CRM system, it has a quotation and order processing capability. Not many CRM systems have this. They rely on some other application, some kind of flaky integration between the two. No problem with Workbooks. It's all within the one system. It's one big database. Depending on what your job role is, you have access to a particular part of this functionality. So we can manage a complete business process from start to finish, going through quote, ordering, and invoicing. Now, there's two different editions of Workbooks. There's CRM edition and business edition. So when you sign up, you've got the choice of two. However, you can mix and match the two together. So if, say, you're 10 users and you want some people to do a little bit of ordering and invoicing, well, they could have the business edition and everyone else can be on the CRM edition. I'll come on to prices at the end. I'll cover the pricing on those two different editions there. We can track customer service. This appears in every edition of Workbooks, the ability to track your service activity. It's also a management tool, as well as it being a great productivity tool to help you be more efficient and responsive and share information. It's a great management tool as well to help you make better decisions and control the business more efficiently. And it's a UK system. Workbooks are based in Reading. As I say, we're based in Bristol. We're UK based. All the data is in the UK. It's very, very secure. Workbooks in the UK has been certified in all of the 6 releases of the government G-Cloud certification program. It's a level of security, quite frankly, that most small and medium-sized businesses and larger businesses couldn't afford. Very, very secure data. And Workbooks is a very popular system. It's won CRM product of the year 2013, 2014, and 2015, a bit like the X factor of the CRM community. So just focusing on some more detailed aspects now, I'm just going to run through the basics of Workbooks and we'll dive into a demonstration very shortly. So just going through now a quick run through of the core capabilities of Workbooks. So you get, as standard, a ready-made system for tracking your leads, your prospects, and your customers. It's very customizable. Shortly, when I show you the system, those screens can be changed by you. No programming required as such. It's very easy to take fields away, add fields to it, and customize the screen layouts. You can also have different levels of security as well. So if you're a bigger implementation, typically we find this with larger installations of CRM, you may have different sales teams working in different areas or different product ranges. And if you want sales team A not to see sales team B's customers, activities and so on, that's possible as an option with Workbooks. You're tracking all of your activities in Workbooks. So this is true even if you're on the customer care team. You every day you've got calls that you've got to do and emails you're sending backwards and forwards to customers. So we're tracking all of that and we're building up a wonderful history against this customer of everything that we've done and everything our colleagues have done, which again, from a customer service point of view, is priceless. The ability to go back in there and see maybe 90% of what you record as regards your customer service calls and emails will never be looked at again. But it's that 10% when a customer service situation arises and you need to go back and see who said what to who and when and why and what was delivered and what was the response. This is what CRM is all about. It's one central place for storing all that information and giving you easy, everything revolves around the customer record, giving you an easy way of going to that client's record and seeing all of their history there. We integrate with any email system. If you're using Outlook right now, and I would say when talking with our Workbooks clients, I'd say at least half, maybe 2/3 of people are using Outlook as their primary email tool. We have an optional integration to Outlook, so as you're sending and receiving your emails via Outlook, they can be copied into the workbook system together with the attachment. So you can see all of your emails, all of your colleagues' emails against that client. And also with the Outlook integration, we're able to share activities and contacts in a bi-directional way with Outlook. So you put a record of a customer into Workbooks, it pops up in Outlook and vice versa, together with any changes that you make in a bi-directional way. We have a mobile app, so Workbooks you can access it from any browser, your Apple, any mobile device, your smartphone, your iPhone, your tablets, all included in the subscription. Nothing extra to pay. And some of our competitors, they actually charge for that. They charge you extra if you want to access from a mobile device. Briefly, marketing is a key thing that you may also be using this for support. You may need to advise existing customers of some kind of new product release or some service information. So why not use Workbooks to generate a message and send it out in a targeted way? Now we can easily import data into Workbooks and export data out of Workbooks in an easy way. If you've got an Excel spreadsheet of existing information, you can easily upload that data into Workbooks. We can also integrate to your website. So this is true of tracking new inquiries if you've got a contact form on your website, or indeed we're talking today about customer service. If you've got a form inviting people to register a service issue with you, that form could be integrated with Workbooks to make sure that nothing slips through the net. You've got an easy way of creating lists in Workbooks. Gather together all clients that have this common information. They all have this product. They're all in a certain area. They all have a certain job title. It's easy to gather that list together. And when we want to send out an email, a mass email to these people, we integrate with 3 very well-known systems. MailChimp is the most popular one, but we also link with Constant Contact and .mailer. MailChimp has got a free account. If you're under 2,000 subscribers, you've got under 2,000 people that you're mailing, then that is free. And with this integration, the list that you create in Workbooks is uploaded to one of those 3 systems. And then with the integration, importantly, we can see the responses coming back into Workbooks against the client's record. Managing the sales process. So with Workbooks, we include the ability to create quotes. You may want to do this on the customer support desk. Maybe you need to create quotes for items or accessories or spare parts or something like that. You can easily create quotes from the system and track that against the client's record. Your price list can be stored in the system. So, and you can actually import your prices also into Workbooks if you've got that data already, or if your suppliers give you regular updates of the price list. You can define different quote layouts. These quote layouts define in a PDF layout. They can be easily emailed from the Workbooks application and thereby seeing a history of all of these quotes that have gone out. And we integrate with the opportunity management system in Workbooks. So as you're generating these quotes, we're building up a picture of potential sales we're likely to make against that customer. So for your sales manager, your sales director, this would be extremely useful to see your pipeline, your sales forecast coming in there. And remember, if you've got the business edition of Workbooks, the option of then thinking about the sales process, converting the quote to an order or an invoice. We also have optional links to Sage 50 in the UK. So if you're using Sage for your accounting system, we've got an optional link to that. And we are about to launch a link to Xero and QuickBooks. So customer service, this is what we're here for today. So another dimension to Workbooks, this is all included. and a separate screen to track the service call, which is called a case, or some people call it a ticket. But on that case screen, and Workbooks gives you an example case screen to start off with, but that can be customized to your requirements, and you can add extra information to it, take information away that's not relevant. But against that case, you're tracking all the information from start to finish of this service call, together with other interactions relating to that call. So maybe you make a phone call about this service issue. Maybe you take an email about the service issue. They can be logged to against that case. You're building up a wonderful history against that case. You can apply deadlines to these issues. You're building up, as you're using this feature, you're building up a nice history of these issues, so you can spot trends and how many issues are we getting on product X? How many issues is customer ABC giving us? How many issues is agent Fred tracking? And of course, in that way, we're sort of building up like an FAQ knowledge base of these typical issues and resolutions. Remember also, as regards logging service issues, the ability, as I mentioned already, the ability to integrate to your website. If you do have some kind of option on your website right now for customers to log a service issue or warranty issue, then that too could be integrated with Workbooks with the Web to Case feature. That's what it's called, Web to Case. Okay, final slide just before we dive into the demo, putting your manager's hat on now. So with Workbooks, you've got a great way. If we're tracking all these activities, a great way of tracking activity levels and service levels, tracking what business is coming in and what quotes are outstanding. We've got a report writer in Workbooks. There's about 50 or so reports that are provided with Workbooks. You can create your own, you can clone the existing reports. And we've got dashboards as well for tracking key performance indicators or key metrics there, like service calls, for example. Right, that's enough of the slides. Let's get into Workbooks proper then. Hopefully all this is making sense so far. Showing you Workbooks this morning in Chrome. It will work with any browser, but as we've logged in, I've just logged into Workbooks. For those of you that have not seen Workbooks before, so apologies for those people that may have seen the Workbooks interface. You'll recognize it. It looks like your Windows desktop, doesn't it? With your start button down in the bottom left-hand corner. And from there, your start menu. And just to the right of that, a handy search box. You can type in there any word or phrase or part of a service issue and it will find it for you. But from that start button, here we are. We've got all of the important elements of a proper CRM solution with right at the top there, the companies, the organizations you're dealing with, and the people that may work in those companies, or you may be a B2C type organization. Organizations may not be important to you, no problem. This can be adapted to both a B2C or B2B operation. Equally well. If I select organizations here, what will pop up is a pretty typical display here. Another window showing me row by row summarizing all of the organizations in my system. You can decide what columns you see here in this summary view. And on the left-hand side in this view section, via the filtering feature here, you can create groups of people. So if you suddenly wanted to see, show me all of my IT customers in London. Here's one I created earlier. There we are. Industry starts with IT. You can see the filter criteria, the search criteria that we use to drill down and find these companies. And town or city starts with London. So it's very easy to create these groups and dive around there and drill down and see that information. Now, if I dive into a company in a little bit more detail here, so Here, imagine we've got a customer called Atlantic Computer Supplies. Another window's popped up here with some tabs running across the top there. On this main tab, this is key information about this company. This is pretty much standard workbooks, what you get, but you can create your own custom fields. If there's some specific information you want to know about them, then it's easy to amend that form layout and introduce those extra fields there. And then running across the top of the screen, we've got extra information. So we've got 15 lots of general notes or files. We've got 152 sales activities logged against this client. Things that are in red are overdue. But in this summary view here, we can see what they're all about and who's got to do that activity and what type of activity and when is the due date. And we can click on any of these lines and drill down and see that activity in more detail. Emails backwards and forwards with any email system. Other organizations that this company is linked with. 11 sales opportunities on the go. 99 transactions. These are financial things, quotes, orders, invoices, and also there's an optional contracts feature with Workbooks. So this is particularly relevant with customer service. Do you have customer support contracts that you need to maintain? How are you tracking those right now? So here's an example of a customer contract, contract number 2. If I click on that, up pops a sample customer contract screen. Again, this can be customized. This top half of the screen is pretty much standard Workbooks. But if you want to track some specific information about that contract, you can do that. In the lower half of this contract screen, we're tracking the products or services that we're maintaining here. And then running across the top of the screen, we can see all of the activities, emails relevant to this contract, and also support cases logged against this contract. So I can click there and see these cases. So I can dive into this one here. Do you see this unassigned issue, problem with a handset? This pops up now another screen for the case, the ticket, but all linked back to the contract, all linked back to the customer and the company. So we've got a little spider's web of information here, and easy to navigate, and it's just like using web pages, just navigating around and clicking on links. So this is the information about the case. This is an example here. You can have different case layout screens. You can add fields easily to this screen, as you can do with many other record types in Workbooks. But this case is linked to a contract, and we can see the actual contract details below, contract number, contract dates, and so on. But against this case, like we can do with other record types, we've got some general notes, we've got activities, 3 activities here, backwards and forwards, specifically about this case. Emails too. Emails, if they reference the record number, so do you see there in the top left corner, this is called case -5. If that's referenced in the email, that's a way of getting emails automatically logged and copied and visible against this case automatically for you. So a nice way of seeing against a customer all of the cases on the go. If I go back to Atlantic here on this Workbooks taskbar, there we are, that other tab there, cases. Do you see 7 cases on the go with this customer? There they all are there, and that's that case that we just saw previously. Incidentally, you can customize these columns as well. You can click in here and add in relevant columns that you want to see. So very easy to add and customize those columns specific to you as a user. Now, that's information against a customer. Standing back, we as a manager, maybe we're the support manager, I want to see what issues have we got on the go right now? What outstanding open issues have we got? So very easy to see that. You go back to your start button, you pop up to cases here, and this will show you the cases landing page. Like we saw with our display of all of our customers row by row, here they are. Here are all of our cases in this example, grouped and sorted by priority. So this display can be grouped as you wish, and we're seeing here initially all of our high priority issues. On this view section, this is where we can put our outstanding cases into different groups for easy viewing if I want to see all my closed issues or opened issues. Also, a couple of other ways of seeing issues. There is a report writer in Workbooks, particularly nice way of summarizing information. So your reports here are displayed in different categories or sections. So here's some activity reports. Here's my cases report. So here's some I've created earlier. Maybe I want to see some kind of summary of open cases summarized by priority. So I dive in there, and there we are. We can see, well, we've only got one very high issue there, but most of them are falling into the medium category. So those reports can easily be run, and you can create graphs from those, and you can output them to Excel or CSV as well. Another final way of seeing information is via dashboards. So I've got a little shortcut there on my Workbooks desktop, and you can create any number of dashboards. But here's an example here, Tim's dashboard, of course, and a little panel there on my dashboard showing me open support cases by colleague that's handling those. But you could equally create a bar graph or pie chart of those cases as well. So there we are, a quick run through of Workbooks, just showing you the interface if you haven't seen that before. Very easy to use, very easy to find information, and focusing on customer support this morning, how you can use that for tracking your customer support issues, cases, and contracts as well with the optional contracts module. I'd now like to just cover a brief mention about pricing. So you subscribe to Workbooks on an annual basis. These are the annual prices. You'll build annual advance. We have just introduced a monthly finance option. So if you're contemplating a new system and you desperately want to pay for this on a monthly basis, we have that as an option for you as well. And that monthly finance option can also include services like training from us and setup help and support options, all. So you just got one monthly figure to pay. Very easy for you to budget that monthly figure over the year. Apart from the standard subscription, we do have some popular add-on options. A very popular one is Outlook. Without a shadow of a doubt, the most popular add-on. The Outlook connector. It's, the official name of the Outlook integration is Workbooks Outlook Connector. And this allows you to share your emails and also in a bi-directional way share your calendar, contacts and tasks between Outlook and Workbooks. But we've got some other options that we can discuss with you as well with various pricing. So I'd now like to open out this morning's call to any questions that you may have. So pop those into that question section, please. First question from Vivian. How easy is it to import service calls from an old application? Well, there is an import feature in Workbooks, and that will allow you, as long as you have your data in a CSV format, then it's very easy to import your old history in there as well. Next question from Roger. Is it easy to log issues against a product? Yes, if you're storing product information against a client's record, there is a relational items tab against the case, and you could then link the case to the product. So yes, no problem at all. Pretty much standard workbooks there. Question from David. Can the quote have additional pages added to it, for example, data sheets or brochures? Yes, David, there might be two options to consider there. When you're emailing the quote from Workbooks, you have an email screen that's presented to the user. So in the interest of speed and productivity, you can email your quotes directly from Workbooks, and you have an attach option, standard attach option there, as you would do with any email system. But the other way of looking at it is with a little bit of work, so this might require some assistance from Wizard Systems, but you could have different quote layouts relating to different product ranges, and those quote layouts will have embedded within them, if you see what I mean, have embedded within them the data sheets, images, brochures, collateral, and so on. So might be two ways of approaching that, David, as an attached file, or maybe making it a little bit more automatic there. Next question from Nikki. Can you import data from Salesforce? Yes, again, you'll need to export your data as a CSV type file and then import it into Workbooks. Incidentally, with the import feature, a nice part of it is that when you actually go through the import process, the data sort of sits in a waiting area, awaiting your approval, so no other user can see it. It's quite nice for you to then check it, make sure you've got the mappings correct and all the data in there, and you haven't forgotten any fields behind. And then you just click on a simple approve button, and it's then visible to all of your users. If you made a mistake there, you can go back and redo the import. Right, I don't think there's any more questions coming through there. So I'd just like to thank everyone for your attendance this morning. If you've got any other questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. There's our contact details there. Especially remember, if you want a more detailed follow-up presentation, if you haven't had one already, or if you're just new to Workbooks, or do you want a formal quote now for Workbooks, please let us know. And stay tuned for next week's presentation. Not sure exactly what aspect of CRM we're going to focus on. If you've got any ideas yourselves, don't hesitate to drop me a line for future ideas there. But thanks very much for your attendance, and have a nice day.